It's great to have your company on this edition of Hong Kong Direct. We're 1 week away from one of the biggest races on the Hong Kong racing calendar, the BMW Hong Kong Derby. And this weekend, we've got a big 10-race card coming up at Sha Tin. This is what we've got in store for the show. Informed jockey Chad Schofield takes Andrew Lejeune on a behind-the-scenes tour of the jockeys' room at Sha Tin. Plus, we'll be looking back with Hugh Bowman at his victory in last year's Hong Kong Derby on Furore. I'm pleased to say that our race caller, Mark McNamara, is our special guest on the show this week. Mark, it's been a bit of a baptism of fire for you here in Hong Kong. You've been here for a few weeks now. How's the experience been?
Been loving it, Ed. G'day to you and everybody, and nice to be joining you for the first time on Hong Kong Direct. It's been everything I thought, although a little different. The city a little quieter than what you see in the television, the newspapers and that sort of thing. And I guess fitting, first episode of Hong Kong Direct features Chad Schofield. Rode a treble on my first day at Sha Tin.
Yes, definitely. And a good time of year to come here as well, too, leading up to one of the most prestigious races, the Hong Kong Derby, in a week's time now.
So close, and Golden 60, of course, headlines the Derby, looking to win yet another race in Hong Kong. He'll be hard to beat. He's unknown over 2,000 metres. We've got a number of the imports which have won over 2,000 metres overseas. So it's the unknown with Golden 60. Apart from that, as we've seen, he's done everything else.
Definitely. All right, well, we've got the field for the Derby that we'll be releasing later on in the show, but plenty to get through. We're going to start off with a special behind-the-scenes look at what happens at the jockey room at Sha Tin with someone who's been involved in Hong Kong racing for a long time, Chad Schofield.
We're inside the weighing room here at Sha Tin, outside the jockeys' change room. This is as far as we normally go. You watch the jockeys after the ridden winner come in, they weigh in, and then disappear behind the closed door. But today, we're lucky enough to get a guided tour with Chad Schofield and go where the cameras can't go on race day. Thanks for doing this.
No problem.
Excellent. So we'll have a look around in a second and have a look at your gear as well. Just a quick orientation for us though. This is where you all sit, and this is your spot every week.
Yeah, this is my locker every week. We're all allocated one, both here and Happy Valley. I'm here, Karis Teaton's here, Lyle Hewiton was there, Grant Van Niekerk, and so forth.
And upstairs, we'll have a look there in a second. We've got saunas, jacuzzi, and a sort of a rest area as well. Yeah,
we do. We've got a couple of beds and couches and whatnot.
All right. Well, it is Tuesday morning. Trials are just finished. This is a normal routine for you, getting ready for Happy Valley Wednesday night and packing your gear. Can you take us through it?
Yeah. So every Tuesday after trials, we come and pack what we need for tomorrow night at the races, and then Ray from the jockey room and the boys take it over for us. So tomorrow night, for instance, I have a light ride. So I'll be using a small saddle.
That is small as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, how much does that weigh?
Probably weighs about 300 grams.
Not much bigger than my hand.
No, it's tiny. But they're actually very comfortable to ride in.
Right.
I've also got a couple of heavy rides, so I'll take a couple of the big saddles. Probably this one too.
Got it.
And then boots, yeah, you can chop and change boots. Every now and then. I'll use one pair.
Yeah, everyone's got patent leather ones now, I suppose, and these weigh absolutely nothing. I mean, there's barely a sole to those at all, is there?
Well, I like riding in these soles. Some jockeys like sort of rubber on the bottom, but I find it more comfortable riding in these. It's just what I'm used to and what I find best.
All right.
So we'll put these two pairs in. Whips.
And they're all the same?
They're all different flexibilities. They're all different flex and lengths. Some are quite heavier as well, but I'll take maybe 4 or 5, and depending on the horse or I decide what whip I want to ride in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's it. Bag arrives down at Happy Valley. It's all there ready to go when you arrive.
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect. All right. Well, let's have a look around.
Okay.
All right, so this is the what room?
Recreational area.
Big lazy boy chairs, TVs. So are you watching our broadcast during the day, or is it just...
Yeah, we are. We're listening to you.
There you go. All right, that might change things a few bits. And the food as well. So regardless of, I mean, if you're doing light, you're not going to eat very much. But if you're not, if it's just a normal day, are there different foods provided, and drinks and so forth, or is it just sort of like normal?
They put on a really good spread. All different foods, hot foods. They cook a roast. They might do curries, fish, vegetables, cheeses, fruit. They do a lot. It's not often, well, me in particular, we can eat during the day, but we might grab a piece of smoked salmon and pick it, or banana or something, and maybe after the last race come up when we're done and have a meal.
Let's have a look in. This is the sauna, and there's a jacuzzi in here as well. And you can use this on race day, the sauna, or is it just getting ready for? And is it something you do if you still need to shed a pound at the start of the day?
Yeah, that's right. It's on all day. Most jockeys get in before the first and get their weight off, so they're good for the meeting. But it is on throughout the races. If you got perhaps race 6 and 7 off, and your light rides in race 8, you can come and hop in and get the last little bit of weight off. And there's also a couple of ice baths out normally. They're all filled with ice, and there's a jacuzzi as well. So there's good facilities here to have a sweat, and all the gear and that's all cleaned and done by the valet, so we don't have to worry about any of that. It's just
excellent. All right, let's keep going. Now the colours on a race day. This is all of them basically. It's pretty impressive as well. That's the valet's responsibility. He gets them all out for you. So does that happen? You come in at the start of each day and they're all there. It just comes out race by race.
So when we come into the jockey room at the start of a meeting, if we have 10 rides, our 10 colours will be on our locker ready to go. Yeah. They'll be in order as well. So we just pick them up, put them on and weigh out. And the valets take very good care of us. We're lucky to have them.
All right, couple more rooms to visit. Well, who's this? Has he got a name?
I don't think he has a name, but he's used quite a bit in this room. Some jockeys like to come up here before the first race and have a stretch, warm up,
some rollers,
or hop on the horse and warm up in the mirror. You can have a look at yourself and
do you actually change things, or are you at a point now where it's just Chad's Chad? You're not going to change any style things, or are you always looking, thinking, I could do this, I could do that?
Oh, of course, we're always trying to improve and improve on areas that we think should be improved on. But my style is pretty cemented in now. Yeah. But I always like to have a look at myself and see where I can improve.
All right. One more room to have a look at. It's the same as downstairs, but this is for the visiting jockeys.
Yeah, this room.
So you keep them separate away from you guys. Don't want them mixing with the general population.
Well, on International Day in particular, there's a lot of jockeys here at Sha Tin, so I think that's probably one of the few days this room gets used, because they've got to put the jockeys somewhere.
Yeah, so this is the Hugh Bowmans, the Ryan Moore, Jamie Spencer's been here quite a bit as well. It looks like they've left some gear behind as well.
I think it's all the valet's clothes.
Oh, is it? Fair enough.
But it's just another extension of the jockey room, really. And
do you, when they're riding, do you come up here and have a chat and then to mix? And the same downstairs as well, or when you're there, sort of in between races, it's the headphones on. Everyone just keeps to themselves.
Pretty much, yeah. There's not a lot of talking or banter going on in between races, but it's all business as usual.
That's brilliant, Chad. Really good look around. Thanks for that.
No problem.
Good luck tomorrow night. Happy Valley.
Thank you very much.
Terrific insight there from Chad Schofield into the logistics of being a jockey here in Hong Kong. Such a competitive environment, Mark. But Chad's been here for 5 seasons now. This is his 5th season, 157 winners. Coming here at such a young age, he's done a terrific job.
He's had a great start to his career, hasn't he? Even down in Australia. Won a Cox Plate as a 19-year-old for Danny O'Brien on Seamus Award. You forget that he's actually Glenn's son, don't you? He's made a name for it as himself. That colours room is amazing.
Yeah, it is. Your job's to memorise them all too, for what horses have what colours.
It is. Well, from down under, Australia, New Zealand, the trainers bring their own colours to race day, but of course here they can just leave them in the one room. So to see them all stacked up like that was great to see. And I just wonder how many times Chad's been on the phone to David Hayes knowing he's coming for the new season. They have had an association, and David and Glenn had a very good association here as well.
Definitely. I'm sure there might have been a Christmas card sent. Of course, as you say, Glenn, Chad's father, rode here. Chad was based here as a youngster and now carving his own path here in Hong Kong. 21 winners for the season. He came back in early February from a 1-month suspension, and since then, Mark, he's ridden 7 winners, so he's certainly a jockey in form.
He has, including 3 on the 1st of March and a win at Happy Valley the meeting after that as well. So if he can stay away from the ire of the stewards, he should finish the season on a real high with 21 wins. A really good tally already Chad this year.
Definitely. It's tough in Hong Kong for the jockeys with the duopoly, really, of Zach Purton and Joe Moreira. But Chad's having a good season and someone that's got plenty of years ahead of him. When those two go, he might be one that will be hoping to step up to fill their void.
And he's so tall, he seems to manage his weight so well. He doesn't seem to have too many issues with the weight, and apart from that blue saddle, which is smaller than a dinner napkin.
Yes, our dinner napkins anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly right, yeah. But yeah, doing a great job in 21 for the season. I wonder what his target is come the end of the season.
Yes, I think his best was around 38 a couple of seasons ago, so he'd be hoping to surpass that. We're just over the halfway mark of the season here in Hong Kong. Don't go anywhere. We've got plenty more coming up on this week's edition of Hong Kong Direct. After the break, we'll be looking back at last year's Derby and then looking ahead to what's coming up next week, plus the best of this Saturday's action from Sha Tin.